Number one thing my son has taught me, to look for everyone for possibilities, not for limitations. Possibilities can be endless when you start looking at it that way, right? But the limits can be very solid. Again, change movement when you can change. I think a lot of people think that, again, because you have rare genetics or a brain trauma, that's it. Life's written in stone. I'm telling you right now, it's not. I'm not saying this to get your hopes up. I'm saying this because there's so much that we don't understand. Most people look at the brain directing the body, but the body can only do what it knows how to do. When you offer it new possibilities, and that's what movement is. When do you panic? When you don't have a solution to a problem. When is a child going to panic? When they don't have the solution to a problem, which is movement. The more movement you offer, the more solutions you have to the problem. If I have a car accident here, the intelligent brain kicks in, well, I can go over onto 99th, or I can go to 91st, I don't take Thunderbird. That's where the logic comes in. But if you only know one way how to get to my clinic, then you can't get out, you know what I mean? Because the road's blocked, and that's not there. Start thinking of possibilities. And so please, start looking at the videos. Don't look for external movements, guys. Look to see the body is processing. Movement isn't just an activity. Movement is a response to an organization. So people think my brain says, oh, lift my hand up in the air, and that's movement. That's a response to a cognitive processing that has nothing to do with function. So in other words, if you go to a karate class, right, you're going to say, center punch. And I'm telling you, there's going to be 20 different versions of a center point punch. People have different stances. People have different organizations for the pelvis, the way that they throw a punch. I think I was doing karate for 6 months until I actually learned what a punch was, because I just didn't have that power. That's an example. Same thing at baseball. I mean, this is, it doesn't matter what the activity is, but movement isn't just an activity. Movement is a response to an organization. When a baby presents, or any child, or even you presents, like me going down, if I had serious slow-mo cameras on me, you would see my eyes adjusting and countering to everything. My tongue would actually be adjusting and countering. We have fluid dynamics, we have all sorts of things, and these are natural phenomenons that go on in the body. But when we have issues, whether it is a PVL3, birth trauma, genetics, we don't know, whichever is because of what stage you're at, or just what I call a deviation. So the brain has two options to go for movement, but so does the body. So the movement doesn't come from the brain. It will more so for me because, let's say I've fallen down, I don't want to fall down again, I start doing preventative movements. We don't want babies going into that realm, or children. That's why children start improving so much too with movement lesson, because children don't judge. They either can do a movement or they can't. You know what I mean? It's that simple. Whereas, let's say I work on adult, they'll judge me for a little bit. I don't know if you really helped my shoulder, it feels a lot better, and they'll start doing all these sorts of things. If a baby suddenly can sit better, they're just going to sit better. What we're looking for here in any kind of development is how that person processes the movement. Now, most people are looking for an external recognition of that. Can they grab the ball? Can they throw the ball? That's not the organization of movement. I have to be stable within my system to even bring my arm up to catch the ball. So that's where I look at where is the vision with this activity? Where are the fine motor skills? Which I also include the spine breathing into fine motor skills, right? Where are the gross motor skills going? But through an internal organization of movement, not an external organization of movement. This is why I started doing the gravity book and all of that and all the principles of movement. That's how I look at the book. Was written for the rules of gravity, but to me it's the rules of movement. But again, it's just a different vocabulary, or a different approach to the same solution. So when you're doing something like a stand, I can tell you right now, if you put your feet on the floor and you're in a sitting position, you put your feet on the floor, and all you do is press against the floor, you're not going to stand up. So it's the organization of movement within the body to create the action of standing. Movement isn't just an activity. Movement is a response to an organization. My IEP goals for Graham was, he'll throw a ball into a basket 2 out of 3 times. Looking back, what a waste of time. What a waste of time. First of all, the goals were always, could be a failure, could be a success. We'll see how it goes. But it wasn't functional. Who cares if he could throw a ball into a basket? So this is where I deviated from what I was being told and what I was going in. But I don't want any of you to go through what I went through.